one last, which is the hesitate. Now, as I said, you have to be decisive, right? This is where you're kind of jerking towards, you know, like, so.
So they may be willing to reciprocate at the beginning, but because you hesitate too long.
It's just going to be an uncomfortable hug.
Okay.
From both. So you both can hesitate on this. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So, audience, how did that look? Did that look like a comfortable hug?
No.
Awkward.
It looked awkward because they hesitated. All right.
There was something
yes?
cute in it, actually.
Well,
The hesitation, it was like, because there was a tension during the hesitation, at the end of the hesitation, you kind of felt like, you know, like people were feeling better, like they were appreciating the hug a lot better than if it was direct, actually.
How did you two feel?
I agree. I felt like.
It was kind of a relief when you finally got in.
Finally got in.
And then when I was there, it was like, oh, she's not there yet. And do I need to back off a little?
Right. So.
There's something to be said about them both hesitating as
I
opposed
think
to just
that's
one, because it's like they're both
key.
feeling the same way.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then let's try it.
Yeah.
You'll hesitate. You'll not hesitate.
Okay.
See, even when she's ready for a hug, if you hesitate,
It makes it uncomfortable.
It makes it uncomfortable. Yeah. So even though she knew she was supposed to go in, when he started hesitating, she felt awkward.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why the hesitate is bad. Eventually it does feel good, but your success rate on a hesitate is low. Okay. Any other questions?
I have. Is there a hug? Because we're talking about the hesitation of a hug being bad.
Right.
But is too much aggressivity, I don't even know if that's a word.
Being too aggressive?
I don't know if that's a word. I didn't bring my dictionary.
Okay, well we can check that later. But is being too aggressive on a hug, I mean, that must have an equally high risk or an equally bad, I mean, wouldn't it, the hesitation, but if you're too aggressive,
well,
you
don't want to be too aggressive. That's where eye contact. Eye contact's always important because you can feel what's appropriate.
Okay.
That's why 5 hugs a day, right? With 5 hugs a day, you'll eventually start just naturally knowing what the other person's ready for. Okay. Yes.
What are some reasons you might find yourself in a situation where you need to hug someone but neither of you are comfortable with it? Such as this.
Well, like neither of you are comfortable with it?
Well, if neither of them are comfortable with hugging, why would they hug?
Okay, actually I'm going to skip ahead to one of my my other ones. This is the situation where both people would be uncomfortable hugging and a hesitate is almost guaranteed. It's the ex.
Yeah.
Right? The ex. It doesn't need to be ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, but it can also be just people who used to be very close and then grew apart, and you just don't know whether the hug's appropriate.
Okay.
Right? So that's just a bad hug because of the situation. So the ex, I'll cross that off my list of stuff too. But that would be a situation where that would be.
That makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Well, in a situation where you hesitate because you don't know where your head goes, so you don't bump heads, how would you avoid a situation like that? Is there a certain side to guideline to go?
Well, let's watch.
Okay.
Usually people go to the
To the left.
to the left.
No.
It seems.
I actually watched.
But
Yeah,
I let her make the first
that's the thing.
decision.
Yeah.
But eye
I saw
contact
that.
again
Yeah.
is always what you need. Your eye contact is gonna. People will almost with their eyes show what which way they're going to go.
And
I mean,
Had I not paid attention, we would have bumped heads because I would have naturally gone that way.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, and
but
I
that's
think
a very
it's
good question.
it's also like when you're walking and you get into that situation where the two people, you know, you're not sure which. Just be decisive. I mean, that's what I did. I just decided I was going to the left, and so I went to the left, and that way I think
And-
that helps too.
Yeah, and if you're decisive, the other person will reciprocate and
Mhm.
like notice that you're definitely going to that side. Whereas if it's like,
Mhm.
try one of those.
See, somebody has to be decisive.
Yeah, at the end, someone has to still make the
Yeah.
decision. Yeah. So if it's you, you're guaranteed to have the side you prefer.
And I chose left again.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.